Morning, football fans. What is up? We are back for another episode of Brotherly Love. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle. To the right of me is my brother in arms, Mr. Luther Broughton. Luther, how are we feeling this morning about last week's matchups?
Oh
A
man.
lot of stuff happened. The,
Listen,
the Eagles
again,
get by.
a win, another
A
win.
W, exactly.
Now listen, I watched that Washington team get handled last night by the 0-4 Bears. Um, and it brings me a little pause, man. It does. Uh,
Well, you did say it was going to be a close game this week. It's a
I
divisional
did.
game, but it shouldn't have been that close. It
I
shouldn't have.
did. There's some and listen, last week I had tickets to the Panthers game, so I didn't get to watch a lot of the game. On the way home, I got to see a little bit of the in the car as we were waiting to get out of, kind of the parking. I just want to know why the hell were we in soft off coverage on fourth and goal with 2 seconds left? Why were we in soft off coverage? Zero blitz and make it. Just if we interfere, who cares? They don't score. They get another play. I don't understand what we were doing there. I watched some highlights. I saw the safety who we signed. What's his name? Whose brother plays for the Bears? Um,
Tremont
the
Edwards.
Bears. The Bears linebacker. Yeah, Edward. What is his name?
Tremont Edwards.
Edmonds.
Yeah.
I heard he dropped an interception and had two terrible penalties. Um,
I mean, the one was bang bang, but like if he's not there, the quarterback gets the first down. If it's not the quarterback that's hit on that play, it's
yeah, but that's I heard he had more than one.
yeah. He did have
Yeah, I
another one
know
that
one was
killed that
bang
kept
bang
another drive alive.
and a missed fumble recovery. I've heard he had a chance to make some pretty game changing plays and didn't capitalize. Didn't see the game. I was reading a lot of the stuff on the Eagles this week, and I actually didn't want to go back and watch the game, like because I'm not giving myself anxiety
I
knowing
mean,
how that
the
game
biggest
went.
thing is I mean, the anxiety came just at the end of the game. Really, I mean, Jalen did look a lot better throwing the ball, a lot better making decisions. You didn't see the turnovers. They still called the freaking stinking quarterback draw, and then just have him drop down for a 2 yard. Stop it. Absolutely, you were on it last week. Stop calling that freaking play. Just give the ball to Swift, give the ball to Kenny. If you're going to do anything, do it RPO style where he has to play to either pass or run and make a big play. Stop with
Man,
that design run unless we're going for
listen,
unless we're going for the
when
brother.
you run a quarterback draw, it has to you have to have some type of, surprise to it. We're doing it multiple times a week. There's no surprise, right? It's weird. It's just weird. And you know what else people were crying about? The fact that we actually scored a touchdown on second down and not try to run the clock down. There's no guarantee you get the first down. People were crying about that. I'm like, we put
I
ourselves
mean,
up
the only thing you
seven
should be
with
upset
a
about
minute and a half
is
left.
wait, where is it? This play right here after the fact.
Yeah, that pissed
Getting in
me
man
off.
space, making it a short field, and
That
hurting the defense.
that
AJ
that
was a
that
man who went in the locker room after the fact and apologized and thanked all his teammates for picking up his mess.
yeah, that really that bugged me. Like I, the self dude, he was crying the first few weeks because he didn't get the ball. He's getting the ball now, and he makes a critical error. I love AJ, but you're better than that, AJ. You don't you already
Especially as
busted
a
his
rookie, it's not like
ass.
not like
You
he's
busted his
a grizzled
ass.
veteran you've been battling with for years and years.
Right. It didn't even matter if he's a grizzle. It didn't matter if it was freaking uh, um, Deion Sanders in his prime. Dude, you kicked his ass. The numbers show you just scored
Yeah, kicked his
probably
ass
the
so much he
game-winning
drug tested him
touchdown.
afterwards.
Right. Walk off. He knows. He's laying there looking like a meme. Walk away. But I still think that was kind of a soft penalty. I mean, come
It
on.
was.
But
I
hey,
mean,
it
it
is what
was.
it is.
He
We're
just dropped
four
the
and
ball
zero.
down. I could see if he was over there,
If he was all up in his
no, he
face,
just
I'm
dropped the
like,
ball and walked away.
yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh no, there
But
was an
listen, man, we're 4-0. I
ugly or
we
not,
said this
4-0,
last few
banged up in the
weeks.
secondary.
When you're winning games, when it's not going well, and your secondary is banged up, you got a chance. And speaking of banged up secondaries, and going into a game this week, Cooper Cup is supposedly playing this week, so that's going to leave a mark. With Cooper Cup back in a secondary that's not
Well,
so healthy,
yeah,
yeah, that's we'll see, man. I know everybody's marking this as a win. You're on the
it's a
road
road game in LA, man.
against a
Tough,
proud team.
it's a tough
Yeah,
place to go and get a win. And we're
yeah,
still talking about a road win. You got to go in someone else's house.
it's
Yeah,
the
we're going to be
NFL.
represented, but I mean,
Yeah, you know how our fans go. We're going to be there and be live, but it's the NFL, man.
man, it's gonna be fun. I mean, like you said, Cooper Cup's gonna be a tough matchup. You hope that Bradbury is getting back to 100%. You hope that Darius Shoulder's gonna be 100%, and he's gonna be good to go.
Well,
You know,
we need to hit the quarterback some more. Our line has to make it easier for our
I
back
mean, I said
four.
we've been getting there. We just haven't
We
been
got
getting
we got to ramp it up even more. It's
exactly.
with hurt defensive backs, we need to get to that quarterback. I know we hit the quarterback. We sacked him a good bit last week.
What do
We
you think
need
about
more.
Morrow, man? I mean, he's been really stepping up, playing big with N'Kobe D now, man.
Listen, I missed the game, and I saw. I'm game casting and reading, and I saw his numbers, and I don't know how well he played. Sometimes numbers kind of lie.
Yeah, I
Yo,
know.
he it looked good though. The kid, I say kid. He had
We're
what,
the old
two
guys now,
sacks?
brother.
He had two sacks. Listen, man, he's getting experience back there while N'Kobe's out, which means he might be able to play one of the other positions as well. So who knows? I love it that when the next man up starts doing the job, that's impressive by Morrow, man. Impressive.
It is, he was he got the safety. What was it last week? So it's like he's
He's
making a
stepping
difference.
up. He's earning his
Yeah, man.
play time, man.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna
make it
make
a
it
hard decision for
difficult.
coaches
And
to
that's,
do it.
dude, that's a great problem to have. A
Exactly.
great problem to have is making a hard decision for when your starters come back. That's a great problem to have, man.
It is,
Uh,
and I'm sure he's absolutely relishing the situation. Obviously, he's having fun, but obviously, rumor around town is that Big Fletch is nicked up and is questionable for the game. How do you feel about that? I don't
I
think
mean, it's always
it's
a
too much
thing
with the rotation we got, but
yeah, it's always a thing when your guys are injured, though. Even you can be the deepest team in the league. It changes things, especially if it's one of your best guys. But it's a long season. It's week 5. If he can't go, he can't go. We don't need him to make whatever it is worse by playing in a week 5 game. If he can play, he'll play. We do a great job of rotating. If he can't play, he's injured. Um, but with that being said, we did build depth at that position in the draft. I mean, we got
we
Jalen
really
Carter at
did.
9. So let's go. Maybe get Jalen 10 more reps. Get Jordan Davis 10 more reps. You know what I'm saying? Guys have to step up. Who else? Milton.
Yeah. Let
Yeah,
Milton eat a little bit more.
yeah. Let Milton eat. Guys step up, and that's what we do. That's what we do, man.
Yeah, now as we're going to look forward to this week, who's in panic mode right now? Are the
Oh
Bron?
boy, I really
Obviously
think.
the Bears got a big win
Yep.
The Vikings aren't looking great
Yeah.
out there. That you don't know what's going on with Denver. Who, if you're one of these NFL teams, who's getting ready to looking forward to seeing who's going to be coming in the draft next year?
Well, the Bears probably still are. I mean, they're looking at having the top two picks in the draft the way this season is going because they've got the Panthers pick.
They
Um,
just traded
but
Claypool.
but yeah, well, whatever. They got like a fifth. They wasted a pick.
He's not looking good. Third team in
Third
3 years,
team
right?
in 3 years. I still remember him lighting the Eagles up his rookie year. That still pisses me off. But I think out of those teams, the one who should be panicking but really can't because they just paid, they just traded for a coach is the Broncos. How are the Broncos who traded for Sean Payton and they were supposed to be the team that was a quarterback away 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Now they look like crap. They can't defend anyone. Um, I mean, I know low hanging fruit would be Josh McDaniels again with the Raiders. That
Oh
just
man,
seems
there
like
was a clip of a Raiders fan getting into a Mark
with
Davis
Mark
at the
Davis.
game,
Yeah,
who was like,
yeah,
"Get rid of him, get rid of
yeah.
him," going back and forth with the owner. I'm like,
And
"Oh
Mark is
man,
like,
the black hole,
she's
I
like,
love you."
I love it. It's. I know it's early, but man, I don't know. I also don't know how Minnesota's feeling about things right now. They beat a bad Panthers team that fumbled. The Panthers fumbled driving in to score with the lead last week. A bad Panthers team. They're happy to have played the Panthers last week. And you should add that team to the list. They gave up way too much to jump in the draft uh, to get Bryce Young went with an offensive line that looks like they overrated. They overrated what they had. They thought they were sturdier on offensive line. They can't block anyone, and on top of that, I think it was a mistake to let Steve Wilkes go. We may have talked about this week one on Brotherly Love, but letting Steve Wilkes go and getting Frank Reich was more sentimental than anything, in my opinion. And then you gave up all that to move up in the draft. That team was coming, man. I know that sounded pornographic. That team was getting it done towards the end of the season last year, and they're basically a thrown helmet from DJ Moore in the Falcons game from basically being in the playoff after starting out in a hole last year. Man, I think you keep Wilkes and you roll with it, man.
Yeah, but you know how it is. It's sometimes people you get an opportunity to get one of those picks, and they're just like, you know what, let's just clear all out, new coach, new quarterback, all that. It kind of reminds me of Frank's kind of repeating what Doug did when he came here to Philly. Gave up a lot of capital to go get a Carson Wentz and try to rebuild with a new quarterback. I mean, a lot of
Yeah, we did, but I think we had other things shoring up. I think that's the proper term. Our line was there. We had an O line that was able to protect him, and we were caught here. Man, Bryce Young can't get a second back there, man.
I
It
mean, and
makes him look
you also
so
got to
bad.
think Panthers take a big step back when you go trade McCafferty and then you go and sign Miles this off season.
Well, we did talk about this. I did talk about this. I remember that. I said, huge mistake was signing Miles Sanders. The mistake wasn't trading McCaffrey. McCaffrey was a huge salary. I think they were doing him justice because they knew they were going to rebuild. They were able to get some picks, but instead of re-signing Foreman, who's a formidable back, and continue splitting time with Chuba Hubbard, who's looking like the Panthers' best back, they spent $6 million a year on Miles Sanders, who the Eagles didn't care to run in the Super Bowl. Um, he, you know, then They go out and hire Frank Reich and trade up in the draft. The Sanders move was the absolute worst, man. That shouldn't have happened.
You could have went after anybody else because he's not the guy that you want to fill that role. I
Right.
think I agree with you. I think I would rather have given Hubbard the carries that you're giving Miles right now.
I would have re-signed Foreman. Foreman was gonna cost them probably 2 mil a year. And he was solid. We were running and defense. We were run game and defense. And they were playing for Wilkes. I listen, man, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time, but that was my opinion, and it seems like I was on point.
All right, let's get a quick word from our sponsor, and then let's get into this week's games.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis enthusiast. Premier clothing, cannabis accessories, with a South Beach flair. Go online today and check out all our great products at justblazedclothingcompany.com. Use the promo code FIGHT at checkout and get 10% off your purchase.
10% off at Just Blaze Clothing with that code FIGHT. And fighting, speaking of some weird things, the XFL is coming into it with the Rock in the merger with the USSFL. It's not 100% done deal, but there is a minor league merger coming. Obviously a lot of people were telling The Rock that this XFL thing isn't going to work. He lost a considerable amount of money, but he did get some good viewership. I think he's trying to, double down on the table and see what he gets.
Man,
It's very interesting. Not 100% of the details coming out, but what are your initial thoughts? Is it just
I like it, man. I like
place to
like
shine?
it. Yes, I like having another league as I don't know if you could call it a minor league, another league for guys to be able to play. A guy like myself, I played 5 years, but I played 5 years as the 50 something guy on the squad. If there were 55 roster spots, I was probably from 45 to 55. I could have been out, right? And that first year I got cut, it would have been great to have an opportunity to play in another league here in the United States. At the time, I don't think we had NFL Europe anymore. It was towards the end of that in 2001 when I was done. It
Yeah,
would have been
yeah,
great to have that opportunity because you can get some reps in. You can actually improve and you can show another team in the NFL that you can actually play. Baseball has the minor league. They get to play. Even veterans, when they get hurt, the pitcher gets nicked up, they can go pitch
yeah. They can go
against
in
some
the minor
legit
leagues and
ball
not have to
players.
go
So
against their professional record to get
correct,
back in the shape where they need to be. I
correct.
mean,
So
and
I
then
like it, man. I like it. This is you actually tipped me on this right now. I didn't know about it. And I think it's a great idea. I wish the NFL could help them. You know what I'm saying? Could help them and maybe be a part of it and help the league grow. That would be great. That would be great if we can get some product. Like I don't know how how it is when the NFL is done.
we were sitting there like, all right, when
We
is
want
September
some
again?
ball, and if it's decent ball, we'll watch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We'll watch. Um, so we'll see, man. It's that's gonna be interesting, man.
I
But
mean, I do think there is going to be, with the merger, you're going to see some teams disappear. I think there's some stipulation if you don't have your own stadium, so we may see the Philadelphia Stars go away again, at least for a period of time. But
yeah,
but it's one of these things where, like, I agree, like you give these guys an opportunity to get people to get some more tape on them. Like, hey, like look, this guy was just MVP of XFL's championship. He was 28 for 34, and he threw four touchdowns. Let's give him a workout. Since we
Right.
got
Let's
this
give him
guy
a
who's an
shot.
injury prone guy, we've invested anything to. So I think that it's good. Not just for veterans but younger guys to be able to give them tape of a professional type level to look at, to give them another opportunity to a chance to go play for the NFL again, or even to make money in that league if that's where it so happens to be. But I always think they're giving athletes more opportunities. I talk about it a lot on my combat sports show. Everyone talks about UFC. We're just about to talk about PFL and Bellator merger over there as well to kind of strengthen that. There's other promotions overseas that do better numbers than the UFC does viewership wise, Tom, because they control just about all of Europe and Asia. I mean,
Yep.
it's great to see other places where athletes can shine and be able to not only be a professional but to get a chance to go and go after those bigger leagues and get another crack at it, where someone once thought that this guy's inept here or whatever, then they looking at this guy just tearing it up in this league. Well, you know what, maybe I was wrong about this guy, let's give him a call.
Right. And that's for a guy like I'm obviously got experience in playing the NFL, but I wasn't a superstar. So you're asking a guy like me about giving guys on the fringe an extra chance, I'm all for it. You're asking one of those guys, one
Yeah,
of
he's
those
like, I was
fringe
one of them
guys,
dudes. I wish I
I
had
was
another
one of
chance to
those dudes,
play another few years. I'm
So
sure you
I
would.
would love it. Like I
Yeah.
would love to see other guys get more of an opportunity to play ball. At some point it's done. It's over.
But yeah, the
But
ride is
but
over.
but but when you're 26 and you got cut and you're still in great shape and you're a few plays away, like you want that opportunity, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Now, speaking of the big show, let's get back into this week's schedule, man. We got a few fun matchups this week. I mean, obviously, we already talked about the Eagles going out to LA, but what about that renewed rivalry that we're going to see Sunday night with the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers? I think that's a
Woo!
big matchup early on. If the
That's going to be
Eagles
some good
happen to win
football.
and Dallas loses that game, we're up 2 games
Two
already.
games. Yeah.
Ooh, and we haven't played them yet.
Listen, and we've got a tough stretch after that. After the
Absolutely.
tough
Being up
stretch
two
coming
games is
up.
going to be
So I'm
important.
absolutely rooting for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not one of those guys that it's out there pulling for the top teams in the NFC
Oh no,
because
especially
that's
because
they're going against us for home field
week
in the
13 is going to be
playoffs
big, brother.
potentially, right?
Yep.
But if you're talking, the first thing you need to do is win your division. You want to get in the playoffs, you need to win your division. Of course, you can get in a wild card, but if you win your division, you're in. And this helps a division team losing. I'm not necessarily rooting for the Niners. I'm rooting for a division team to lose. So I was rooting for the Bears last night. You know,
Didn't
let's
work
say I
out.
was rooting
The
for
Texans
DJ Moore.
wound
He's
up
a
winning
former
that game.
Panther. Yeah.
But the Giants in Miami, they need that game more than anything right now, because if they lose that, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Bro, speaking of panic, if they lose that game, bro, they're lucky. They're lucky that the Cardinals allowed them an opportunity to take a gift and win that game against the Cardinals when they were down, what, 20 nothing? They are lucky. The Giants just don't look real good right now. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. It's a division team. You want them to lose. But I'm fair. I'm shocked. I'm
I
really
am shocked with
surprised that
what
they
I've seen
look
out of them so far.
that bad. I know there's some injuries on that offensive line. I know it. They just look bad. I know Saquon is hurt too. but I just didn't expect it to be that big of a drop off, that big of a fall. But you hate to see it.
Danny Dimes bought himself out to a massive contract, and if I'm a Giants fan right now, I am sweating. I'm like, oh no.
Well,
Here we
let's
go.
put it like this. People keep talking about his contract, and but
It's what the league averages
typically when a quarterback signs a contract when they're free, they're amongst the top three highest paid quarterbacks in the league. When Daniel Jones signed his contract, he was still only the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league. And 3 weeks later, he was down to about 13. So he's paid $40 million a game, but you have to look at it in terms of quarterbacks.
It's what the league
He's a
averages.
mid-level quarterback, and he's going to be a mid-level paid quarterback. He's going to be under 15 here in just a few weeks when a few other guys sign. With that being said, I gotta let him hit the free market and see if somebody else wants to pay him $40 million. I know they made the playoffs last year and they wanted to keep that
They
ride
should have
going,
just put the tag on him, paid Saquon, and be like, "We'll match whatever someone's gonna offer you, brother."
yeah, but the tag on a quarterback is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
You
but
can't put the
I
tag
would have
on
rather
him.
paid Saquon, man.
I wouldn't have paid Saquon $20 million
But yeah,
either. Because look at
he's more nicked up than Miles
he's
is.
always hurt. Right. Right. But I still wouldn't have wanted to pay him 40 and pay Saquon 10. A $30 million
Now, the other one I
difference
wanted to talk about was
is crazy.
Jordan Love, man. He needs a big game against the Las Vegas Raiders this week. He needs a breakout game because they're looking like they might be in.
I don't know if he needs a breakout game. It's his first year
It's
starting.
still early, man. It's still
He
early.
looks good. I don't know if he needs a breakout game. I think they need to play better, but I don't know if he needs a breakout. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there. I think that kid's going to be good. I think if they, I know they've got some receivers.
I was at the Green Bay game here when we knocked Aaron Rodgers out, and he sit there and tore our ass up in less than 2 quarters, almost brought him back into the game. Right? Jordan Love is a good quarterback. It gets good teams, and maybe it's just not 100% putting everything all together. Whatever it is, it took a while for Jalen to kind of put everything together too. So again, it may be just what we're hearing from outside noise. I was just asking how you felt about it. I'll take the L there if you think I'm wrong there.
No. I don't think you're wrong. I just this is one of those we agree to disagree. It's not like a wrong thing. I just think differently. Because you could be right. I don't think he needs a big game. I think he needs to continue to do like this. Because I think he looks good. I think he looks like a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's what I think about him. But
Zach Wilson looked good against the Chiefs this late.
Zach Wilson actually looked like an NFL quarterback last week, and it was surprising because he looks like such a guy who just didn't have confidence. And you know what? He probably said, screw it. He said, screw it, and I'm going to just play ball. And sometimes it just hits. And he knew if he didn't play well last week, he was going to be out of it, right? And he played well last week. I was actually happy for him. I was happy for him that he played well last week. I don't need him playing this well against the Eagles. We need him to go back to normal because that defense is pretty good. But that leads me to the Chiefs. The Chiefs, was it the Jets or was it the Chiefs that just don't look that good?
They're still looking weird. I think everyone's still.
They look weird.
Everyone's still on
weird.
The whole Kelsey Swift thing, even to the point where UFC fighter Michael Chandler is like, "Can we stop with this?"
Here's the thing. Swift and Kelsey wasn't a thing week 1 when they got beat by Detroit, right? and they haven't. I know that's an attention getter, and I'm sick of it,
Yeah, let's
which is
bang
why
bang the fruit.
which is why I didn't even mention it when I mentioned the Chiefs. But I was hoping we can get through this
No, no. I mean,
telecast,
we're gonna
this
make fun of it because
podcast.
everyone's still talking about it.
Right. I wish we could have gotten out through the podcast without mentioning that and another certain thing that I won't mention. Um, but I think the Chiefs they look weird. There's something
I think they got a little bit of that Super
missing.
Bowl hangover, and that might be a good
There's
thing for the
something
rest of the
missing
league.
there. Yeah, who knows? Their quarterback is just
Eric
so good and
Bieniemy,
makes so many plays.
is now down in Washington. Maybe that have something to do with
Maybe
it.
that has something to do with it. Who knows? We'll see, man.
And speaking
We
of off,
gotta.
like now, like we said, we needed Jalen to have a better game, decision wise, throwing wise, and look like he had that. Would like to him got the ball a little bit more to Devontae and Dallas a little bit more, but
You know what? I don't care about that. I don't care about
like whoever eats whatever game
forcing
eats
the
whatever game.
right.
I
I
agree with
don't
that.
care about
Whoever's
trying
got
to
the hot
get a
hand.
guy the ball. Right. Like if we had just tried to get Devontae the ball at the end of the game because AJ had himself a game, that to me that would have been stupid. Because AJ had the matchup and he was winning. Continue just like Swift. Dude, feed him the ball. Week two.
I wasn't liking the when they were bringing Kenny Gainwell in there to run. It was just like unless DeAndre's tired there. Like why are we doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. I won't question our rotation, but it was weird. I agree with you. It's a little weird. I didn't see the whole game. I kept looking at it on our phone, and I'm not watching, but I'm wondering like, why are the reps getting split and this, that, and the other? But who knows, man? We're 4-0. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, you're 4-0. You
Excuse me.
wanted to get through the first month unscathed. You did.
And you did.
Now you need another big road win down there in LA against the Rams. I think they should be able to pull it off. I think it's going to be it's going to be kind of like how it was last week. Hopefully, no overtime is needed, but I
Right.
do believe it'll be within a score. It's just it is really tough to continually to win on the
Win
road.
on the road.
You have the
Right.
defense for it, but we are banged up on
We're
the back
banged up.
end. They are a team that plays on a fast track and they can and do some things. They do still have a quarterback who can make plays in Matthew Stafford. So
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I'm kind of happy it's a late game because I'm traveling this week. I'm actually going to Atlanta for the Braves Phillies game one.
see, there you
Uh,
go. And then go
I
right
almost
into it.
stayed
You're
in
going to bring
town.
it right into it because we were talking a little bit about this last week, right? You told me
Right.
don't look ahead, right?
Yeah,
The
don't look
rematch
ahead.
is here.
Win your series first. And I say that not as a shot
Oh no, it's not a
the
shot. I
Phillies.
didn't take it as one either.
It's because that's what happens. You go, oh yeah, I can't, and then your ass is home, right? Like last year, our fans were like, oh man, we get the Dodgers again in the NLCS, and we lost, and the Dodgers lost. And I'm like, man, beat the team in front of you in the short series. Yo, the short series makes it more difficult. Now, the wild
You
card,
got the home.
I
You got
get
the home
the
right
wild
now.
card, I get it. It's just 3 games. You can't extend the series, the season too much for the teams that earn the bye. I get it. It's weird to see a 3-game series. It was weird. And it took me. I forgot again, and I was like, "Oh wait, all the series are over," and I forgot that it was a 3-game
That the
series
wild
again.
card's only 3.
But
Yeah.
the 5-game series is advantage Philadelphia, in my opinion, all the way because while we rake, Philadelphia rakes as well. Philadelphia has better your two starting pitchers are better than our two, and one of our guys isn't even in on the roster. Morton isn't even on the roster. He got hurt a few weeks ago. Max Fried got a blister on his throwing hand. Spencer Strider has been giving up bombs the past few weeks. This scares me about the I'm about to say the Eagles, about the Braves in the first round. It's not a 162 game series. It's a 5 game series. It's a 5 game series, and
And
that's
the
what
other thing
scares
is
me
this
coming
Philadelphia
in
has
with
been
our
uber hot the last few
pitching.
months. We've been getting
Yeah, they've been
healthy
hot.
and hot at
They
the right time.
they've been healthy, and it's not even the past few months. The past few months don't matter. We've played you in one series against you in the past few months. The past few months don't matter. It's the
It's
past
right
few
now.
weeks that matter. And right now, and they just came off of a series, actual baseball. You know what I'm saying? We had a week off. We actually had a simulated game the past week because you can't
You can't.
you
You
it's
still can't
hard.
match
It's
that
hard.
that,
It's,
that level
you
of
need
play.
some rest, especially the pitching, but it's hard. So with that being said, you know, I still I have the Braves in a 5 game series. But 5 games mean it's a 1 game series in game 5.
Here's the thing:
I don't
you
know
have to
where
beat us 1-2. If you beat us 1-2, you got it. But coming into this ballpark, it is so hard to beat us here at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, we just did it a couple weeks ago. You want to win your home games. I say it goes 5, and it's a crazy 1 game series. And with a 1 game series where you got people on either squad that can break your heart with one swing of the bat, both of those teams have guys that will make your mom cry. They will put the ball out of the state, out of the park, and it's going to be crazy that these two teams are matching up again this year.
In the
And
divisional
it's going to be
series.
fun. It's
I
going to be
agree. I
fun.
agree. It's going to be
It's
5.
going to be fun.
I want to see 5. I love
I
this
don't want to
matchup.
see 5. I don't want to fucking. Ooh. I don't want to see 5. I
You
want
want to
3.
knock
I
us down
don't.
to 3.
I
To be
want
honest, I don't even
Philadelphia
want no
gone
drama from these dudes.
because it's a 5 game series, bro. It's a 5 game series. They can win 3 games. It's a 5 game series. I don't think they beat us in 7. Absolutely flipping a coin in 5. Absolutely. But it's going to be fun. It's baseball, man. I love it. My team is good again. Well, I say good again. We've been good for a while, but I mean,
But
I've been a Braves
you have
fan.
won a World Series in the past 3 years, if memory serves.
That's true. That's true. And I was at was it game 1? Game 1 or 2 of the Worlds. I was at the NLCS. I was at the playoffs last year. So that was not last year, that the year before. So that was exciting cuz I mean, the last time we won it was in the 90s. I was in college. I didn't get to experience any of that and I was like, dude, me and my buddies were talking. I said, "Look, I'm spending the money, but it's baseball. You can somehow get a ticket, even if it's standing room only." I had decent seats, but it was cool because my wife didn't want to go. She was like, "Oh no, you can go." And I you know how the pre-sale comes, and I'm on Ticketmaster in line. And when it comes, you go to buy, and it's like someone else got the ticket, someone else. So I was able to get 2 seats. And my wife didn't want to go. You know what I did, right? I sold both of those seats, made a hell of a profit, and bought one really good seat. And it was
There you go.
who was it? Was it against no, LA was the NLCS. Well, yeah, it was LA NLCS. And it was nuts. That experience was great. Great to have
Playoff
my
atmosphere is
own
different.
team.
I
Playoff
did.
atmosphere is crazy. You love it though. You love it. And what's crazy is last year during the NLDS, I was flying to Philly for a game. I was flying to Philly for something that week, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna change my trip and come a day early." And I couldn't get a flight early enough, and then the Phillies beat the living shit out of us. So I was like, "I'm glad I didn't." I didn't fly in early, buy tickets, and sit in the crowd and watch us get smacked.
Eliminated.
So that was fun. No, it wasn't the elimination game, but
Oh, it
it
wasn't?
was
Okay.
game 3. I
All right.
forgot why I gotta look at the schedule. I'm almost certain I was
Yeah, I
coming
think we
up there
start.
for a game.
I think it's Sunday, Monday down there with you, and Wednesday back
No,
here
it's
with Game
Saturday.
3.
Saturday, Monday. I'm going early in the morning. That's why I had to do so much stuff today. I'm driving up in the morning. The game is 6 o'clock tomorrow, but then there's another game on Monday, which I contemplated staying in town for. But my son has a flag football game. I can't be missing flag football for 40 minutes for to watch the Braves and Phillies. You gotta watch the Fort Mill Giants, which Cam's coach is from New York, and of course he chose the Giants, and it just sucks watching my son run around a Giants jersey. But yeah, I gotta come watch the Fort Mill Giants play. And so I decided I only get one game in this time. So it should be exciting now.
You got a full weekend. Anything else you want to get to before we put a wrap on this one and let you
Yeah, man. Right quick. I know I told you I didn't have a lot of time today, but we had a blockbuster trade in the NBA this week.
yeah, man. Yeah. You know,
That one caught me off guard. Lillard
like,
to the Bucks,
yeah.
and then Drew Holiday to Boston.
That
I
hurt
don't.
because
But
you
listen
heard
though,
the
I don't
Sixers were
know if
trying to
I don't.
bring him back. You
I
heard the
don't
Sixers
know.
were trying to bring him back in
I, I
Boston.
I wanted that, but I don't know if Boston got better with that deal. I'm not saying that Drew Holiday isn't better than what they got from what's the guy's name from Virginia, uh, who played for Milwaukee, point guard.
I'm not sure, but all I know
He
is
was rookie of the year,
Bu-
anyways.
the
But
Bucks look pretty good
they
all
they
year.
only they gave up their center as well. They had to give up Williams and a ton of picks to get 32-year-old Drew Holiday. I don't know if that made the Celtics better. I, they gave up. They got Drew Holiday is super solid. I don't know if that because they have no inside presence. And then Harden decides that he's going to come to camp. I'm so sick of James Harden. I'm
I'm not,
glad.
dude. I will not tune into the Sixers. The James Harden
Listen,
thing just has me burnt out, dude.
I'm a Hornets fan, so I like everyone else's misery because like whatever. You guys are miserable.
You're
Tough
like
luck.
F your
Tough
team,
luck.
and you're like I'm
I'm like
enjoying
tough
it.
luck. Like I'm not. I'm like tough luck. I might not be enjoying it, but I'm saying tough luck. I'm a Hornets fan and season ticket holder, and if I get to watch that mess, then you deal with Harden being a freaking diva.
Oh
So, with
man,
that being said, man, Eagles this week, I think we come back home 5-0. I also think again we have a close game.
I do, I do. I think it's gonna be within 7 points. I think I think there might be a 4 point swing. Someone gets a field goal when the other gets a touchdown, and you're gonna be traded points that way. I don't think we're gonna see an overtime. It'll be close.
Yeah, who's your upset pick of the week? Throw that schedule up there right
Let's
quick.
pull that schedule up one more time. Um, my
Mhm.
upset. I got your Panthers upsetting them Detroit Lions.
Are
I,
you serious?
I do.
Dang, I hear you.
I
So,
think I think that they're starting to feel themselves a little bit out there. I know they're trying to change the culture, and Campbell's doing a lot of good things. I think this is one of those ones where they smell
it gets
themselves a
to me.
little bit and have a letdown.
I like what you're saying there. I think that makes a lot of sense. My upset pick this week, the team I talked about a little bit earlier that looks kind of funky. I think Minnesota. It's in Minnesota. I think Minnesota beats Kansas City in the dome, man.
I'd
Yeah.
like that just so we could stop hearing this this Swift nonsense. Also, we were banging on the Jets and the Broncos. I think that's gonna be a fun game. I think the Jets do put a whooping on Mr. Payton and his Denver Broncos.
Well, there you go. I got the Chiefs losing in an upset. You've got the Panthers winning in an
I do,
upset.
man. I do. I got them winning that game.
and I am
It's
off to
tough,
pack my
you know,
bag.
like you said, like it's one of those games when nothing's going right, and all of a sudden this is a game you're supposed to get your head kicked in, and all of a sudden comes off how you want it to go.
Yeah, but hopefully I'm sleeping sound tomorrow night after a Braves win, resting up to drive home to catch my Eagles at 4. Hopefully that's what it is.
Well,
But we'll
I hope
see.
the first half is absolutely wrong.
I know. Yeah, we'll see, man. Braves
We'll
Phillies
see.
again, man. Braves Phillies again.
Lots
That's
of
gonna
fun
be
stuff
exciting.
that we touched on today on brotherly love. It's gonna be another fun week leading up into next week. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more Braves Phillies to talk about. And it's gonna be another great week of football again.
Yep.
Make sure you guys are locked in. Make sure you guys are liked, subscribe here on the Fantasy Sports Corporation. Again, we are doing a little giveaway with the grading authority. Anyone who's commenting on the videos this week, this week and throughout the month, there's a random chance to win, a couple signed and or graded cards from TGA, both from the baseball side of things. I got a few football cards in there. I'm going to send them out some more stuff this month to get some more football stuff on here for
Sweet.
as we get closer to the NFL playoffs. Going to be doing something similar throughout January as well. Other than that, guys, this is another fun one of brotherly love. I'm Steve. That's Luther, and we will see you guys next week.